Hi, Olivia here, and you're watching Health Before Travel, the channel that helps you to stop and think about your health and safety before your next trip. Today we're going to be talking about while you're vacationing, being cognizant of your drinks, your behavior, and just staying safe while you're away, and making sure that you just don't end up with any consequences or problems from potentially the date rape drug. Right? So today we're joined with Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for joining us. And we're just going to be going and just talking about some of the experiences that people, myself included, that have had while we were vacationing, and sometimes in the most benign situations. You're away on a vacation and you're out having a great time, and all of a sudden you realize you haven't had that much to drink, but you're starting to feel a little bit out of place and things are starting to move and you don't feel right. You know something is wrong. How many of you have been out and think and or know that you have been drugged while you were out?
So my friend went on vacation with a bunch of girls for, I believe it was a bachelorette party in Las Vegas. And there was 4 of them, and 2 of them got separated from the group. So there was 2 and 2.
Right.
So the 2 of the girls, not her, ended up finding them back, and one girl started to throw up. I don't know if that's a common symptom from somebody who has been drugged, or specifically, I think that a lot of the drug, the date rape drug, is given to a lot of people on vacation. It's just slipped into the drink. It's really easy. So I don't know if this was what she had, but she started to throw up and passed out. And the other girls were kind of laughing and said, how much did she have to drink? Yeah. And her friend that was with her said, no, something's wrong because we didn't drink that much. And then she started throwing up and passed out. Yeah. Whoa. They spent the night in the hospital. The doctors basically said, you know, we can run the test to find out what this is, but you are in the States and you don't have insurance. Get insurance. So do you want us to run all these tests? So they opted not to, but the doctors did believe that they were drugged.
They're actually lucky, I guess you could say, is that they had those symptoms of the vomiting, whether it was Rohypnol or there's other drugs out there that people can slip just for their own amusement sometimes. Yeah. But it isn't sometimes, and most times not for just their amusement, it's for their abusement. Right. It's for them to abuse you in some way, and usually to rape you. Just to put it out there bluntly, right? Yeah. And that's exactly what a lot of women, and especially when they are in groups like that, they do become a main target because they are so careless and carefree, and they are just so free-spirited, and anybody who's watching them knows that they are a prime target, and they are so easily distracted. Yep. So easy to just slip something into the drink.
Well, I thought immediately, I'm like, well, thank God there was 4 of you and you got separated, because if all 4 of you had this drug and you were unconscious, what could have happened? Yeah. So now, Olivia, you shared with me that you believe that you have had this drug put in your drink.
Twice.
On 2 occasions. So tell us a little bit about what happened, and I'm going to ask you how you felt. Yeah, so what happened?
So 2 occasions that I think that I have been drugged, but I don't have a bad story, but actually what happened is, so one of them was I was actually down in Cancun, and you know, it was actually in the afternoon, and it's one of those all-inclusive places that's all you can drink and everything. I was given, I was there with my sister, and we had a Coco Loco. Oh, what an amazing drink. You gotta look that one up. It's so good. But it's so good that it actually went down really easily. Now, there's a lot of alcohol in the Coco Loco, so I can't really say that there was any kind of drugs put in that, so I can't say that for 100%. But I will tell you that the effect that it had on my sister and myself was instantaneously at the exact same time. And that is not directly after we had been drinking, but probably sometime later. And it was like, holy crap. And we both realized that something isn't quite right here. So we actually just got up and went to our room and we slept. And so I don't have a bad story there.
So you fell asleep pretty much right away. If you felt it within a half hour or so, got to your rooms and said, you know what, let's just stay in here and knock out.
That's right. So we were able to do something about it. And I think that it's because both of us sort of were going through the same thing at the exact same time. Another time that I was away was in a Disney getaway, and I actually
Disney.
Yes.
What are you talking about, Olivia?
Well, it's not really Disney. I was on a Disney vacation,
right.
And the thing is that almost instantaneously, on the second glass of wine that we had, all of the women in the place actually started acting in a bizarre fashion. That suggested that the drinks were drugged, and it was insane.
It's funny, but it's not at all.
It isn't. We were all chasing an armadillo in the parking lot. There was an armadillo. I can't tell you if it was even real, to tell you the truth, but somebody said there was an armadillo, so we saw an armadillo and we started chasing it. Again, the same thing. It's just like all of the women, not the men, all of the women started acting in a bizarre fashion. Yeah. And see, these are two very benign places that I've just mentioned to you. And maybe we were drugged and maybe we weren't. But at the end of the day, those effects are very real. And we know that if we only have one drink here, we don't usually act in that kind of bizarre fashion. So one can only assume how easily that it can be to actually just slip something into a drink.
Yeah,
and it's scary. It's very scary.
Those drinks that you got, the Coco Loco?
Coco Loco.
Okay. So when you got that, did that come from the bartender, or did somebody order it for you? Like how?
Yeah, no, the bartender. There was the bartender who came over and, he said, I got a drink for you girls, Coco Loco. Hey, sure, it comes in a coconut. It's delicious. I mentioned that. Did I mention that it was delicious? It was really good. It did go down smooth.
But so not even the bartenders can we really, there's so many things that we hear that we should do when we're vacationing to kind of protect ourselves from something like that, like take the drink directly from the bartender, but that's not always foolproof. And be with somebody, but with the girls who went to Vegas, that wouldn't have helped them either.
Yeah.
So you maybe just, if you want to drink, maybe have a drink before you leave your hotel room. Have your own drinks. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that the thing is, and maybe this is going to be really hard to sort of organize, but maybe you do really need a DD, like a designated
somebody that just will not drink,
who doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's one in every crowd, maybe. Who's just not really a big drinker. So, hey, let them be looking out for you. That's probably the only safest bet, because if all of you are taking the same drinks and all of you are sort of going down together,
right?
Maybe not good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scary.
It's very scary, the stuff that's going on. It's just so many things in the world, and it's just, we don't want to live in fear.
No, and we want to go and we want to continue to have fun out there, and we don't want to, like you just said, we just don't want to be kind of, always like, like Debbie down, like downer and stuff like
don't
that.
drink.
No, don't do
don't
this.
Go
don't
out
have
at
fun,
night.
and just play everything safe. But yeah, got to do safe in a fun way at the same time, in a responsible way. You still need to have fun, so we don't really want to. But hey, you know what? If you have any of your own stories, please share those, because these are just a couple of our own stories in our own circle. But there's probably so much more out there that if you share your story, it can just educate somebody else. It can educate and get the message out there of how are some of the ways that we can approach this, so that we can all protect each other, look out for each other, and just avoid ever having any of this ever happen to us.
Yeah.
And so we shall be here again next week. Until then, have yourself a wonderful and safe week.
Bye for now.
Bye.
I like it.
Yeah.
Today we want to talk about drinking and traveling. Good topic? Great topic. Yeah.